See how many people we have today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sarah, Dawn, and me. That's a nice number. Okay. Okay, good morning, everybody. So this is welcome to the second class of the second part of the course, which is the Sun Style System of Dr. Paul Lamb. And it's we're gonna start with the basic 6 done in reverse, followed with the advanced 6 done in reverse. So, like I said before, last time, if you've been practicing and paying attention over the past 12 weeks, then you're basically going to be doing the same thing, but you're going to be doing the mirror image of it. Okay, well, good. Let's just get started and let's just kind of warm up. Loosen up a little bit. So we're just rotating our shoulders up and back. Good. Grab your elbow and pull across. Let's take an opening breath. Imagine that we're scooping up energy from the earth, bringing it up, and grabbing energy from the heavens, and pulling it down. And imagine that we're collecting energy in the Dantian, which is an area 2 or 3 inches below your belly button and about 2 or 3 inches in toward the spine. It's where the Chinese believe that energy is held. It's also, mentioned a few times probably, it's also the center of the gravity of the human body. So if you take a human body and you put it on a fulcrum, at that point, balanced at the Dantian, the body would be perfectly balanced. So it's this kind of point of perfect equilibrium we pay attention to when we go through the Tai Chi movements. Okay, so let's bring our hands up and push on. Imagine you're pushing and pulling against a force of slight resistance. Like you're in a swimming pool, pushing, pulling against water. It's this feeling of pushing against a resistance or moving against the resistance, because it's not only pushing, it's pulling, it's it's omnidimensional, of course. It is the feature that allows us to connect through the nervous system all of the different parts of the body that we use in Tai Chi. If you do an experiment and you do this by completely relaxing, it's completely kind of feel like you're dropping. There's no energy in it, all right? You're going through the motions. There's no resistance. How do you feel? Anybody want to say how they feel? You're just totally more than relaxed, just no, imagine no energy or no resistance. And how do you feel? Well, I feel like my hands are really heavy. I feel lethargic, heavy, lack of energy. Shoulders are starting to, my forearms and arms are starting to get heavy. And I'll tighten it up with resistance. And you feel a very different feeling here. Feeling of control, power over the movements. Like you're in command. So you feel like you're in command. You're not a prisoner or of your body. You can control your body and make it do what you want it to do effortlessly. Just by imagining pulling and pulling and pushing against a resistance. Electricity doesn't exist unless you have resistance in the form of a wire, right? Good analogy. We come back. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
And down. All right, now let's form an energy ball and play with that ball. It's following the movement of our lungs. Open, breathe in, close, breathe out. So breathing is an integral part of this system. One factor which is maintaining a gentle resistance. The other is breathing to distribute oxygen to efficiently and effectively to all parts of our bodies. Stop breathing, the process breaks down. Same thing if we breathe too fast or too slow. And we'll turn that ball over, play with it in this dimension. And we can rotate our hands in 3 planes: a horizontal plane, the sagittal plane, which is in and out of the screen, and the frontal plane, which is plane in front of us, like a wall in front of us. If we take our hands and we move it around together in a circle, the universe loves circles. Think about it. What's the shape of galaxies? Shape of the sun, the moon, the earth. Waves have a circular motion. And then we can go spin the other way. This spinning with the hands is a whole different martial art, Chinese martial art. It's not very well known, called Yilik Chuan. It's the use of the hands in 3 dimensions, spinning in 8 different directions, in combinations of that to control another person and defend yourself. All right. So we went around one way together, we went around the other way together. All right. Now let's do concave. Out, and in and out and in. Out and in. Slowly. All right. One more. And now let's do convex. Convex is in and out. All right. Now let's do alternating. All right. So one hand is coming in and the other hand is coming out. And the hands are rotating over each other. And go in the other direction. And now in and out. And the other way. Okay, good. So next time we'll do it the same thing in the frontal plane. Next session. So let's continue with our Qigong warm-ups. Okay. Push up, right? I don't know if you can see me, but pushing up like this and then pushing down like this. It's an S shape, right? Okay. Sit up straight and rotate around your waist. All right. Now push, rotate and push. The hands are facing, palms facing out. We're always doing this, notice, in the horizontal plane. I'm not moving my arms up and down.
Oh,
They're just going from side to side, which means I have to bend my elbow back. So it's done in a horizontal plane, and the hands push to one side, lining up sagittally, meaning in and out of the screen, parallel to the wall on the left and the wall on the right. Don't forget to turn around the waist. This is for your spine. It's the purpose of these exercises. Because we do so many rotations around the waist, that's where the power comes in to play. We want to make sure that our spines are exercised, the muscles are stretched, the tendons are stretched. At the same time, we're strengthening our lower back, the muscles in our lower back by this very simple exercise. Nice and slow, nice and relaxed. And let's take a closing breath. If you like, anytime you like between these exercises, kind of a way of recharging and recentering before we go on to the next one. And the next one's going to be, we get into this position with the heart. This is the heart of the fist, fingers up. This is the eye of the fist. So we talk about different ways of striking. We can talk about the eye up or the heart up or the heart down and so forth. All right. So this time heart up, and we want to bring our elbows straight back. Don't hunch your shoulders like this. Keep your shoulders down. Bring your hands back to your sides like this, and we're going to punch out. So we're going to twist so that the heart, which is up, starting up, eventually twists and turns, and now it's down when it strikes. All right. These twisting motions generate a greater force than just a linear non-twisting force. You think of a screw, how much energy a screw has. A little screwdriver, you can put a screw into a very hard surface much more efficiently than you can by banging it in linearly with a hammer. So this kind of motion adds another degree of force. At the same time, we kick out with the other leg. All right? Just raise your leg if you like. You can. If you can't kick out up high like that, just kick out lower to the floor. Extend your toe. I'm doing it high so you can see what I'm doing. Obviously, this is an exercise intended to strengthen the legs. It also exemplifies another concept in Tai Chi, that usually when one part of your body moves in one direction, another part of your body moves in the other direction. It's very yin yang. So here I'm punching with one side and kicking with the other. And so that balances, my punch balances my kick, and my kick balances my punch. That allows me to drive more energy into both aspects of both forces, the kick and the punch. Like 2 is better than 1. You want to think of it like that. And there's a lot of examples like this in Tai Chi. All right, if I do this and punch and pull back, the fist that's doing the work is the one that's punching out. But the pulling back is just as important as this hand here, which is doing the work, because in pulling back, it allows me to turn my waist and put more energy into the punch by pulling back. All right? So you'll often see a lot of this sort of thing going on, which is in keeping with the importance of twisting around the waist to generate forces in Tai Chi. And of course, we do it slowly. This is some Xing Yi. This is a nice practice. You put your fist on your elbow and you slide across the bone, pulling one back and the other forward. Turning at the waist. All right. And now let's try this. We can put one hand, we put our front, one hand stretched out, all right? One arm stretched out with the heart up and the other with the heart down under the elbow. All right, we'll set up like this. And now we twist both hands as we strike out. Set up under, again, exactly the same on the other side with the heart down on the bottom, the heart up at the top. And as we strike out, we twist both fists over to the opposite direction. And setting up once again, fist under elbow, unwind, twist, fist under elbow, strike and pull back, fist under elbow, strike and pull back, and twist around the waist. And of course, if you did this fast, you would have a very energetic strike. Forces going in different directions. Lots and lots of examples of that. So I want to continue on. I get distracted, but that's good. Trying to share my meager knowledge with you, the little I know and that I've learned over the years that I think is interesting. It helps understand the basic philosophy and mechanics of Tai Chi. I got my heel up and I'm swinging back and forth. The heel back and forth using the foot as the fulcrum. And the other side. And now put your foot down. We've done this before. Just rock back and forth from one side to the other. And the other foot, back and forth. Okay, good. Let's see what the time is. Let me check the time. 11:27. I wanted to talk a little bit about something called the 6 harmonies. Anybody heard about the 6 harmonies? So if you if you go online, you can read a lot about it. There's a lot of literature on it. It's an ancient concept that's very basic to Tai Chi and the other internal Chinese martial arts. And so there are 6 harmonies. There are 3 internal harmonies, and there are 3 external harmonies. So the external harmonies I'm going to go over next week. They have to do with posture and body alignment. How we line up our shoulders with the waist, hands to the feet, and our elbows to the knees. And I'm playing around with this. It doesn't matter whether you're standing or sitting. The principles hold. And the internal harmonies, we talk about a little today. There are 3. There's the mind, there's the energy that in our system, the mind, energy, and the expression of power. And in Chinese, the mind is yi. The energy inside is qi. And power is called li. And there's one other element that is actually controls, is high at a higher level to all of those three. And that's called Shen, S-H-E-N, and Shen means spirit. So briefly, the way it works is our spirits control or dictate our ability, the ability of our minds to do something called create intention. And in fact, intention and mind in Chinese, which is yi, they're synonymous, intention and mind, because that's what the mind does. And after the mind generates the intention to do something, it transfers that message to the body, and the body takes over and does whatever it needs to do biologically and physiologically to get things going in a way through taking in oxygen, distributing the oxygen, and through harmonizing all of the aspects of our physiology, you know, the endocrine system and the nervous system and circulatory system, muscular system, and all those different parts, the tens of thousands of biochemical reactions that allow us to do something. And that something, in the martial sense in Tai Chi, if you're thinking about it in those terms, is the generation of power and force. But so if you think about it and you look at it in a negative way, so for example, if you start at the very top, you think about spirit. If your spirit is lacking and weak, then it's very difficult for the mind to be intentional, for the mind to concentrate and focus intentionally on something in order to make something happen. And if the mind has no intention or little intention, and that's weak, it affects how we breathe, it affects how we hold ourselves, and it affects what's going on metabolically in our bodies, detrimentally in this case. We look at it in a negative sense. And then what would you expect to happen? Very little, right? Whether it's the generating a force, hitting something, or manifesting something that we want to do that's important to us. It could be anything. It could be learning, mastering a skill. It could be taking care of ourselves physically. It could be loving, being accepting, being sympathetic, and in whatever way we want to manifest itself. And so it's not just the system. What they call the three harmonies are not just a system for generating power and defending ourselves. It's a system for living a good life and in good health. Because if these things don't happen in that order in a positive way, your health is going to be affected. And think about it this way. If you think about people who are, and you know, at one time or another, many of us, certainly myself included, have been depressed. And it all starts from the spirit. If your spirit is low, your mental energy is limited. Your ability to create intention is limited. It affects your body, how you breathe. It affects the circulatory system, interactions that take place biochemically. And you know, you don't feel like doing anything, so you don't get anything done. And at the same time, your health is diminished. People that are depressed have a higher level of rate of incidence of heart disease and cancer, anxiety, and so on and so forth. So, so I just wanted to bring that up because I really think it's interesting. It's integral to the Tai Chi system. And sorry, if you, gee, sorry about that. Hold on. If you go on with your practice, and take it to a higher level, you'll read more about, hear more about the harmonies, and they also are very important part of Chinese medicine. So next week we talked about this week the internal harmonies, and next week we're going to talk about the external harmonies, which in some ways is easier to grasp because it's on a kind of somatic level rather than on a kind of internal ethereal level. Okay, any questions on any of this? Or some of you may want to go ahead and elaborate on some of these concepts, or if you have any questions or make any comments, feel free to do so, right? Okay, good. Hope that wasn't too boring. So let's move on. Let's get into our form and let's practice what we learned last week. So last week we started, remember, we don't start with commencement because that's done at the beginning of the 6 basic movements. If we're going to go on further, what we do is we move through it and we eliminate the commencement part of it. And so we ended after we did a push, we came around and did an open and close, and that was the 12th movement. And now we're going to go right into single whip. And so remember that this single whip is the opposite of the single whip we did last week, last semester or last term. And that was stepping to the right. Take a little step to the right if you can. Turning the hands out, face down, palms out, pushing slightly out just a few inches, and extending and leaning to the right, to the same direction that we step. And when we lean, we're going to open our hands up like a swallow, past the shoulders, just past the shoulders. And we're going to lean to the right, but we're going to lean to the right by moving onto one cheek, keeping the body upright if you can. So that's very good. Yeah, everyone's doing it right. And then we come back to the left. And as we come back to the left, we set up by bringing the right hand in an arc down past the waist so that the bottom hand lines up under the left shoulder line. The left shoulder, in fact, the left elbow. So I've got that right palm basically on my lap, the fingers pointing to the left, and my right palm is up, the palm facing out about eye level. Okay, very good. So let's do this the other way now, all right? So let's start at the open and close, all right? As we turn the hands out, facing out, just like before, we take a little step to the left this time. Half step left. We push out and extend to the swallow form. We lean to the left this time, maintaining an upright posture. We come back and lean to the right as we bring the left hand down in an arc, lining up under the right elbow at the right shoulder line. Now my left hand is the lower hand and the fingers are pointing to the right. And my right hand is up, palm out at about the level of my eyes. Okay? So that's single whip. All right. So I'm going to turn my chair a little bit sideways so you get a different perspective. So let's start with open and close. Turn the hands out, facing out. Take a half step to the left, push out about 4 inches and extend your hands past the shoulder line. The elbows pointing down. and be leaning to the left and to the right with that, right? Now we bring the left hand down in an arc, past the Dan Chin over to the right, and line up that palm, palm down, fingers pointing to the right, underneath the right elbow. Right elbow is pointing down, right hand is up near the head. And if we turn this way, we are open and close, half step left, open the hands, facing out, push out, extend, lean to the left, lean to the right, and bring the left hand down in an arc, lining up the palm face down underneath the right elbow. Right elbow is extended down, with the palm facing up, out, and near the top of my head. All right. So you want to have your hand, your lower hand down, be as far as you can below the dantian or at the dantian, which is about where our belly buttons are. And you want to make sure that the palm, your fingers, are lined up with the elbow, the upper elbow, which is pointing down. And if that hand is there, the upper hand should be up here at eye level. Because in cloud hands, you're going to be moving that hand back and forth and across in front of your eyes, and you're going to be looking through it. And that's going to be cloud hands, and we're going to do that next session. So obviously this single whip that we're doing, the single whip is no different than the other single whip. The hands do the same thing. They turn out and extend, but we're going to be leaning as we extend in the other direction than we did when we did the first one. And then when we line up the hands, they're going to be lined up under the other to the right rather than to the left. Basically, the mirror image of what we did the first time around. All right, makes sense? Good. So let's go ahead and I'm going to turn sideways a little bit. I think it's easier for you to kind of if I'm putting myself in your situation. If I'm facing me and you're looking at me, maybe I can ask you to turn your chairs. Let's try this. If you can turn your chairs to the left diagonal, all right? Turn your chairs to the left diagonal. Not 90 degrees, but 45 degrees, all right? And now we're facing, you should be looking over your left shoulder at me instead of looking directly at me. Okay? All right. So let's start from the beginning. We just want to sit up straight. Raise your crown. When you raise your crown, you raise the spirit, chin. And that helps if we tuck the chin in. Relax your shoulders. Drop your shoulders down. And round your chest a little bit. Round your shoulders a little bit. So you're going to hollow the chest. It's this feeling of hollowing the chest. And relax. When we're ready, all right, bring our hands to our sides. Take a few deep breaths. And bring our hands up with the fingers pointing down, dangling down. The arms are straight out. Horizontal till they're parallel to the ground. as if we were holding a beach ball. And now bring the ball in and down, like an S shape, down to your waist. Now holding the ball on your lap almost. Now we're going to push the ball out, straight out. Bring the ball up and into your chest. The ball is about at your chest, 3 or 4 inches away from your chest. And now we're going to open and close. Open to the shoulders and close. No big deal. Don't close too much and don't open too much. And as we open and we close, we breathe in and out. Okay, good. Turn the hands out, facing out. Push out and extend. At the same time, we step half to the right and lean to the right. Shift your body to the left and bring the right hand down and your right foot over next to the left foot under, and line up the lower hand underneath the left elbow and switch back and forth, maintaining the same vertical distance between the hands. And now turn at the waist to the right, all the way to the right.
Are you still there?
All right.
Okay.
And now what we're going to do is switch up and down again at the right shoulder line. And turn to the left, cloud hands left. And switch to the right. Switch up and down at the left, I mean. And turn to the right, the hands lined up. And now at this point, we're going to rotate the lower hand up, palm up, bring the palm up in an arc and around and outside to the left shoulder line. So now the hands are palms facing each other like you're holding that ball again, and open and close. Single whip. Rotate the left finger's palm down, the right palm out. So the right palm is now to your right cheek, and you're looking at it. Like you're holding your palm out to the right. And the fingers of the left hand are touching the right elbow. And now I'm going to turn forward and I'm going to push out straight with the left palm facing out as I reach across and swipe across with the left hand, bringing that left palm around, blocking all the way around out front, bringing it around to the waist, the palm facing down. My left palm is facing down at the waist, my right palm is straight out, striking, straight out. Single whip, I'm sorry, this move is called brush knee. It's called brush knee because you're brushing around, you're sweeping around with the left hand as if you're kind of brushing your knee, but it's higher than the knee. All right, we're going to play the loop now. To play the loop, we rotate the hands. The left hand comes out and up, the right hand comes down like we're rotating a wheel, down. And now my right palm is up with the palm facing to my right. My left palm is down under the elbow with the palm facing to the left. Kind of like I'm playing a harp. The arm should be at 90 degrees, forearms to the bicep, 90 degrees, both top and bottom. And the top palm is about nose level. The bottom is at the bottom palm facing left is to the left is at the elbow level, the left elbow. All right. So now we're going to go to deflect, parry, punch. All right. We're going to turn the hands over. All right. We are going to now pull the front hand down and push the front hand up, swiping the palms together, striking out, the upper palm up, the lower palm down at the waist. We turn the hands over again. We push the bottom palm up, striking up and pull the top palm down right across the palms crossing each other. And now my right palm is down at my right side. My left palm is palm up at about neck level. This is strike to the neck. All right. I turn both, make two fists, leave the hands where they are. And now I'm going to rotate the front palm down so that the arm is parallel to my chest. At the same time, I'm going to punch up and over the left wrist. Now, my left fist is heart down, and my right fist is the hole in my fist is up, called the eye. So that's up. Now, open both hands, leave them crossed. So the last three moves were deflect, parry, punch. We open the hands up, pull them back to protect our face. Bring them back, the elbows down, to like you're calling through them. Like there's a triangle and you're calling through. It's called calling block. Pulling the palms back in front of your face, calling block. And now bring the palms down just a little bit and push out. So that's push, calling block, push. Bring the hands in slowly in front of your chest, holding a ball, and open and close. Okay, so that's 12 movements. The next movement that we learned today is single whip. All right. We open the hands, face out. We push out as we take a little step to the left. Push out, extend like we're standing a set of curtains. Shift to the left. Pull over to the right. Pull the left hand down underneath the right elbow, lining them up. All right. Did we do single whip last week? I don't think we did, but did we? Does anyone remember? We did. We did it last week. Okay, let's go on. Let's do cloud hands. All right. Cloud hands. No different than we did in the last classes that we had. So we end up with single whip and open and close. All right. Now, single whip. All right, single whip. Bring the hand down. To the right. Switch. Over at the right side. Now turn both hands to the left. And switch. Up and down. So I've got my left hand, my right hand up near my face, my left hand down near my waist, actually on my lap. All right. And now I'm going to pull to the right, both hands together, lined up vertically to the right. And now I'm going to shift the lower hand up and the upper hand down, maintaining that same vertical distance. This is cloud hands. To the left. Pull to both hands to the left, turning at the waist. Shift the hands up and down. Pull to the right, both hands together, turning at the waist. One more. Shift up and down. Pull to the left. Right hand down, left hand up. Shift up and down. Turn to the right. Left hand down, right hand up. Bring the lower hand up in palm facing up in an arc past the chest and the shoulders, opposite the right hand, holding a ball and open and close. So that's single whip to the left, cloud hands left. So those are the first two movements of the next 6 that we're going to be learning. Actually, the next 12 if we go on past 6 weeks. Let's see how much time we have. All right, let's go through the whole set again. Relax, sitting down, sitting up straight. Bring the hands up, fingers pointing down. Holding the ball, bring the ball in, down to the chest, to the waist, and push out. Slowly. Bring the hands in, back to the chest. Open and close. Turn the hands out, single whip. Half step right, push out, lean right. Lean left. As we lean left, we bring the right hand and the right foot in, lining up the left lower hand underneath the the right hand underneath the left elbow. Cloud hand, shift up and down. Now the right hand is up, palm up, facing out, the left shoulder line. The left palm is down near my lap. Pull both hands over to the right together. Shift the hands up and down at the right shoulder line. Left hand up, right down. Turn at the waist, hands together to the left. Shift the hands up and down at the left shoulder line. Turn the hands to the right again, around the waist. Rotate the left palm up and past the right upper palm and over to the left in an arc, holding a ball, facing forward, and open and close. Rotate the hands in position for a brush knee. So I've got my right palm at my right shoulder, looking at my palm. My left fingers are touching the right elbow. Looking forward, I straighten my left arm in an arc. I swing down and across, blocking and push out straight, striking with my right hand, the palm facing out. My right arm is fully extended, the palm facing out. My left palm is touching, the thumb joint is touching the left waist, the palm facing down. Bring the left hand up above the right hand down. And now my left palm is facing to the right, up near my face, about a foot out from my nose. The right palm facing out to the right. My left palm is underneath the left elbow, palm facing to the left. As we turn then for the next step, which is Deflect, Parry, Punch. I'm going to just simply turn my palms over facing each other. And I'm going to just strike out with the right palm, pull back with the left palm so that they float over each other, pass each other. And the left palm comes facing down to the waist where it was before. The right palm is out straight in front of me, about neck level with the palm facing out, the fingers pointing out. Palm up. Turn the palms over and repeat that. So you're going to pull the front palm back and push the lower back palm up. They slide past each other. And now the right palm comes down, palm down, the joint of the thumb touching the right hip, palm down, the left palm is extended, arm out, palm up. Make 2 fists, don't do anything, make 2 fists. Rotate the left palm over, fist over, and punch up over the right fist, eye pointed up, over the left wrist. Open the hands up, pull back, protecting your face with the palms coming down in front of your face so that you're actually like a triangle in front of your mouth. It's called calling block. Slowly, intentionally bring your palms down a little bit and then push out at the chest level, a little below, and you push out, calling block, push. Bring the hands in about a foot from the chest, holding the ball. Open the ball, breathing in, close the ball, breathing out. And now if we wanted to end Tai Chi at this point, we just simply push our hands out like we're pushing the ball out, the fingers pointing out. And now just rotate the ball down, let it go, let it drop, and bring your hands to your sides. And just sit and be with yourself for a moment. Just take a few deep breaths. Okay. Good. I think that brings us to the end of this session. I think we're out of time. It's noon. Any questions about any of the moves or any things that I talked about? Okay. Well, in that case, we will reconvene next Tuesday. Have a great week and
There's a
take
quick
care.
question. Can I ask a question? Okay. Why we turn our seat to the left?
Why did I turn my seat to the left?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good question. I just, if I'm facing you and you're facing me, you have to do the opposite of what I'm doing. So when I move to the right, my right hand, it looks like it's going to your left, but it's really my right hand. And so that's confusing to many people, including myself. So if I turn sideways and you turn sideways and we're facing the same direction to the diagonal, my right's your right and your right is left is your left. We're in the same orientation, and I believe that it's easier for you to follow.
That's interesting. I actually, I turned my seat to the left angle as well, like you did. And I found actually it's more challenging to do than facing forward. That's why I was curious if that was a purpose to the left. I mean, not to follow you, but just for myself doing it.
Well, if we're both facing to the left or to a diagonal, left, doesn't have to be this way, but it could be this way. So this is facing you, this is facing left, this is diagonal. And you put your chair in that same position where you are like you're almost like you're sitting next to me, but in back of me. A little bit back. Then you will be able to you'll be able to actually look over your left shoulder and lined up with me in the same direction. Now, maybe that doesn't work for you, and that's okay, you know. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but
yeah, I appreciate that explanation. Yeah, I was just wondering. Thank you.
Yeah, who's talking? Is that Sally?
No.
This is Anne. It's Anne.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second.
I don't have a picture.
Ann Smith.